Hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
So nice to see you again and again. I like you as my student.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, let's not wait for anyone else because if we wait now, we'll miss our things. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
we'll begin. So first, I'll ask you. I'm so sorry again. I didn't give you any PDF, any note. I'm so sorry. I'm so busy with my life as well. Uh,
Okay, ma'am. I gone through that double three school, ma'am.
oh, very good, very nice. You went through that. Good, good, good.
Yes,
Did you
ma'am.
did you understand how is that website made? Like it's so easy, it's so simple,
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we can easily learn from that one by one, one step at a time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you explored ChatGPT? That have you asked that please teach me this and that topic? My ma'am told me to. ऐसा करके, did
Yes,
you ask
ma'am.
that?
For practice questions, I used, ma'am.
Okay, okay, very good.
It gave
Fine.
me that basic level questions, intermediate like that by level questions. It gave me, ma'am.
Okay, 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 okay. Very good, very nice. Okay, fine. So I think you have already see there's one more student. Hi, Rupitha. Okay. So now let's not waste our time on Python anymore. And I think you already understood what Python language is. And
Okay.
if you don't, I'll give you one more thing. See, when you uh, when you sit and study now, I already told you that you should at least have a notebook with you, of that notes notebook, and a chat gpt or any AI tool which you learn with. Make AI your friend. Just sit with it, learn with it. It will just write a prompt, simple prompt, that I want behave like my teacher and I want you to teach me this and that topic. It will simply give you a whole description about it. Anyways, so one more thing I was telling you is that when you sit while studying, before that what you do is, in the morning when you get up, you just make a checklist. You know what a checklist is? There's a box, there's a list where you write all the kind of work you should do at the end of the day, till the end of the day. What I do is, when I wake up and I have so many tasks, so many multiple tasks, and so that I don't forget and I be consistent, persistent, what I do is I make a checklist where I write that I have to drink hot water in the morning so that I don't forget. And in the morning, as soon as I wake up, I just write those lists, I follow that list. Okay, so similarly, while you study, you just make a checklist that today I have to complete the whole Python course. Next, and then in the afternoon, I will make a quiz on it and I will, uh, you know, test myself. So this is the second point. Then third, you can write into a list that I will ask this and that question to ma'am. Okay, like this, you can make a checklist so that you also know what you are studying in a day. Okay. Anyways, so this was my part. Now let's begin with the syllabus. Today we will be learning a new and a different thing, and which is very important in our course. See, we took the basics of Python for the topic we are going to study today. Do you guys have any idea of pandas? Pandas in Python?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you don't. Fine. So I'll teach you with the most basic line, most basic things, because you don't know anything about it. And pandas here is very important, plays a very essential, important role in data science. Now you must ask, what is pandas, and why do we use only pandas and not other things? So see, in Python, basically pandas is a library. Okay, pandas is a library. Now you know that we have Python language we have, it has different kinds of libraries. Now do you know what is a library? A library basically is a set of codes, or a kind of, we could say that, like, I'll just explain it with a real life example. When you go into a library, you have so many books. Now you can have an access of any book as soon as you enter a library. As soon as you have a card. A card is which is of a library. For in my college, if I go in my college and if I have a card of my library, I have the access of each and every book. Similarly, when I download Pandas library in my computer, in my local computer, or if not, I'm not downloading, if you're using Google Colab, which is a Chrome extension, which is basically we use it in a Chrome, right? We don't have to download Google Chrome. You know what Google Chrome is? I hope you know. We are practicing on Google Chrome only, okay?
Yes,
Google
ma'am.
Colab, sorry, Google Colab. So here in Google Colab we don't need to download any library. It has inbuilt libraries, which means as soon as we ask it that I want to use this library, it will help us use that library. But what if I'm using VS Code or any other code editor? You know what VS Code is? VS Code is basically a code editor where we can write codes into our local computer, and then we can connect it to any host, and then we can use it in our Chromes. Okay, so when we are using VS Code and other code editors like this, we have to download Pandas from our Google Chrome. Okay, understood? But for now, we are not understanding the part how to download it, because it is so simple and it is so basic that when you go on your YouTube and ask it how to download Pandas for your Windows or for your MacBook, whatever laptop you're using, or for your mostly I think you must also use Windows only. And if you have MacBook, write on YouTube that I want to download Pandas for MacBook or for Windows. Okay, so it will give you the whole bunch of videos where it will show you how to download Pandas. But we are not downloading any Pandas here because we are using Google Colab. And in Google Colab, we don't need to install any libraries. Okay, we just have to give it a code of line that we are using this and that library, and it will help us use that. Okay, now moving on, as I said, what is a library? So a library basically is a extension of code which we provide to which every language has. Okay, so here in Python we have so many multiple libraries, and each library is used for a different task. Okay, for example, if I want to visualize data, or if I want to make tables out of that data, right? In the first class, in the very beginning of this session, I told you that we have a large humongous amount of data in different companies. We know we all of us have heard about IBM. IBM is a company. Or let's say Amazon. Amazon is again a company. Or we say Google. Google is a company. So all these big firms, it has so much amount of data that we need to visualize it, we need to manage it, and we need to understand how to handle these amount of data. Okay, and how to handle these data and then use that data in our profit of the company, right? For example, let's say if I am owning a business, I own a business, I'm doing a business, I'm a business person. Okay, and when I take data from my customers, from my consumers, that data I have to manage, that data I have to understand that data, and then that data is used by me for producing profit in my business. Understood what is the whole function, what is the whole work of data in a company, in a business? Okay, so here that is why we are using data task. Okay, so we play with data. What we do is basically, what's our role if we are going in a field of data science? So what's our role is, we play with the data. We take the data from the customers, users, and then what we do, we perform different functionalities on those data, and then we find insights of that data. What does that insights means? That we find different things, different information from that data, which could be used further by the company for their profit. Okay, so basically here in Python we will be using Pandas. So a panda is a library in Python which is used for data analysis, data manipulation, and data cleaning. Now these are very important and big terms in data analysis, data science. Okay, what does data analysis means? Data analysis is basically when we take a data and we understand it and we find insights of it. Let's say, for example, you take a data of a school. Okay, now what could a data of a school include? Let's say you take data of all the students studying in a school. That data might include all the names of the student, all the classes they study in, what grades are those students in, and the marks of the student. Okay, these are the three things that data include. data of the school we took. I'm giving you an example. Okay, so from that data, what I can do is I can study on that data and I can form different graphs. Different graphs, what does these graphs means? You have studied in mathematics, we have different graphs like pie chart, we have a bar graph, we have different types of graphs. Now why these graphs are used in data analysis, what we do is we simply simplify those data. A data could be in large amounts, it could be unstructured, which means when we see that data now, we cannot understand what actually this data is saying. It's so congested, there are so many numbers, there are so many attributes into that. But when we visualize it, when we analyze that data, we make it in a simpler format, where anyone, by seeing only, they can understand, okay, this is what that data means. Okay, understood? Are you understanding what I'm saying? I hope I am trying to make you understand what data analysis means. Okay, if
Yes,
you're not
ma'am.
getting, if you're not getting, just tell me. I'll change my style of saying. Okay. The second thing is data manipulation. Now, what does this data manipulation means? Okay, do you guys want me to share my screen, or is it okay? Are you fine? Like, you can hear me and then you can make notes, or do you want me to share my screen? Are you able to make notes on your own? What do you want?
Ma'am, share your screen, ma'am.
Share. Okay, fine. I'll share my screen. I'm just reading out from my chat GPT only. You'll understand. See, I'll make you understand how I simply learn from chat GPT. See, these two things, these two are the two I've just used ChatGPT here. So you can see here where we were. What are pandas? So I'll just zoom out this. So I'm saying, what is pandas? Okay, you can simply write a prompt. See, it is giving so cute. It is so easy to use ChatGPT. You can just ChatGPT that what is pandas and why are we using it. After this class, if you don't understand what I'm teaching, you can just go on to ChatGPTs, on your own ChatGPTs, and tell it that be my teacher and teach me data analysis using pandas in Python. So it will give you a whole list, a whole step by step sequence of tasks you can perform and understand pandas. Okay. For now, I am there to teach you, so don't worry. See here, Panda is a Python library which is used for basically these three important tasks, which is first one is analysis, second one is manipulation, and third one is cleaning. And as this last thing, the last point, which is data cleaning, might sound very simple. Okay, we just have to clean the data, but this is the most crucial and most important step in whole data analysis. See, what happens is, again I'm saying, let's say, um, just a second. Okay, so let's say, hmm, so let's say this is the domain we are studying. So this is what our data is. This is the humongous amount of data we get. So this is a place. Okay, this is a user, this is a customer, and this is the data we get from a customer. Okay, now this data is so unstructured. Now you can see how many lines I've created. This line is created because I want to show you that this is so messy. You know what messy means? Untidy data. Messy, just like our rooms, right? When we enter a room and it's so messy, how will we feel? How will our mother feel? Oh my god, that's so messy, I'll just clean it up, right? It makes us feel weird that I don't want to enter that room because it's so messy, it's so untidy, it's not clean at all. So what we do is, it's similar to other data we collect. So when we collect a data from a source, it could be a consumer, it could be a user, this is a source. Okay, this is the source of data. And when we collect the data from that source, we have so much data, so much, a huge large amount of data, that we cannot have it a structured way, we cannot have it in a structured way, right? So we have to make it structure. We collect the data, it's in an untidy, unstructured form, and then what we do is we structure this data, that is we clean this data. I can simply make a small circle. Okay, this means what? That this is a clean data, sorry for my bad handwriting. So this is the clean data, whereas this data is so large, so in such a large amount that we cannot clean this data. So this clean data is then sent for the data analysis. Do you understand what I'm saying? So before data analysis, we begin analyzing the data. What we do is we clean that data, because when we start doing functions, or when we start playing with data, or when we start applying different functions to data, let's say I want to find different things, different information from the data, and when I begin to find information from this type of data now, that is unstructured, that is so untidy, we'll get we'll get a bad solution, which is wrong solution. We won't get a correct answer out of it. So it is important to clean it before we proceed to the actual data analysis. Do you understand? Do you Are you getting it what I'm saying? So pandas help us in data cleaning, data analysis. So it does the data analysis part, but the most important part it does is we can clean the data. Okay, if you didn't get any of these three things now, I'll take a quick short project today and you will understand whole thing. Okay, so don't worry. Now see, in pandas what we do is, when we take data, first of all, just tell me that have you ever used excel sheets, or do you know what tabular data is? The data we save in a tab form or in tables. Have you used excel, google sheets? Have you
Excel
seen?
used, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
you have
ma'am.
used.
Excel used.
Yes, very good. See, this is the Excel. I thought you haven't, so I was just trying to see. This is an Excel sheet. Now, when I zoom this, you can easily see that there are so many columns. We have A column, we have B column, we have C column, we have D column, and we have multiple columns. And you have one, two, three other rows. So I can simply create a table in this Excel sheet. So similarly, when we use pandas, what we do is we make a table of what? The table of the data we collected. Now you might think, where does this data comes from? Yes, you might think that, why are we even talking about data and where this data comes from? So here, when we will be working on a project, so we have a platform which we say Kaggle. Do you know what Kaggle means? Have you ever explored Kaggle? See, here you can see a Kaggle, your machine learning and data science community. So when you click on this Kaggle now, you will have this page. It is a very important and a very nice platform which you guys should know, and you, if you haven't heard of it, you are very late if you haven't heard of it still. But it's okay, it's okay to begin from anywhere you are standing. I'm telling you, just when this class gets over, go on this website which is Kaggle. You just type Kaggle, and if you don't remember, just write it down somewhere so that you remember after uh, you know doing this class. You just go on this and explore everything it has. It has so many things. It's specially made for us, the people who are studying data science. Okay, see, you have competitions, you have data sets, you have models, you also have codes. You can learn from here. It's very easy. If you want to learn, see, introduction to programming, you have Python, intro to machine learning. You don't go on machine learning, it's a little complex, but I already taught you about Python, right? So you can simply go up here, you can click here, and you can just start, understanding again, so that your concepts build up more stronger. Okay, just remember again and again, I'm saying you have to stand out among so many people. Okay, in India only, there are so many people who are pursuing data science. You have to stand out among those people. So you have to work hard, you have to go extra every time. Okay, so people who don't know Kaggle and people who know Kaggle and are studying from Kaggle, this community, are way more above than the people who don't know yet. Okay, so just go on this website, explore all these things. So my motive to to introduce this website to you is, first of all, you can also have discussions here. There are so many forums. You can just click on any forum and start talking to people who are with you, who are ready to study with you. So just go here, talk to other people. I'm not saying that girls should talk to boys or boys should talk to girls. Just understand that now is your age where you have to talk to people who are worth networking. Just remember this line. All these lines now nobody will teach you, only those people will teach you who are working in a real world. Okay, remember when I was about to study my I was about to start my life in corporate, I was about to enter a company. Networking helped me a lot. Talking to people who are worth talking, who are worth networking, should be on your list. Okay, rather than talking to your friends, to your boyfriends, don't do all these things nowadays. Just start talking to people who are worth it. Okay, so just go on these communities, explore people, talk to people, how did they start their journey, how are they are learning. Okay, so anyways, now here the more important thing we want here, you can see data sets, right? So what is a data set here? Data set is the data we will be needing for pandas, right? We are what we are doing is right now we are understanding pandas, and for understanding pandas we will need to practice it, right? What we'll do is, as I said, what pandas does is it does basically three important things. First is data manipulation, second is data analysis, and third is data cleaning. So these three things we will be practicing on different data sets. Understood what is a data set and what we will be trying to do with pandas? Understood our main goal? I'm asking you
Yes,
guys.
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So see, moving back to this. So here it's saying it works primarily with the tabular data using structures called series and data frames. So in pandas, when we are about to learn pandas, so as I said, it does these three important things. And how it does that? It does it with the help of tabular data. So when I open Excel sheet, and you can see here it is in the format of table. So whenever I input something in this, so it will give me, see, it will give me a simple table. Okay, a table where I can basically enter anything I want. Okay, so this is a table. So this is a table. Okay, got it? This is a table. So this is a table which has two columns and two rows. Understood? This is a column, and here you can simply see that it has two columns and two rows. Okay, so here in pandas also we use tabular data using structures called series and data frames. What does this mean is, so what does this means is that in series and data frame, in pandas what we do is we use labeled array and 2D table like a spreadsheet in a SQL table. You know what SQL is? SQL is again an important skill every data science student should know, and I don't know if you are learning or it or not, but you should start learning SQL as well. After Python you should go on to this SQL and start learning SQL. So basically what SQL does is it helps us make tables in the back end. It is basically a database. See, you might know, till now you might know that how does an application or how does actual products or solution work. So what we have is we have a front end which users can see, and a database where all the information is stored, and a backend where people actually does the programming stuff. Okay, you know what this framework, what this workflow is. Whenever you open a website, you whatever you see on your laptop screen is the UI, is the front end. At the back end, what it does is how that website is actually made is the back end, where we use Python programming, Java programming, and in the middle it has a database. For example, if you're filling a form or if you are signing up, so where does that data get stored? That data gets stored in a database, and that database can be handled using SQL, NoSQL, MySQL, MongoDB. So if you don't know anything about this, just go on to your chat GPTs, write a prompt where it will explain you whole workflow of how actually websites work. Okay, so right now it's apart from our syllabus. We are focusing on how pandas actually work. So in pandas it has different structures, and always understand that it uses tabular data only. Okay, it stores data in the forms of tables. So either it could be series, which is one day array. Now you know what array is. I've already taught you about arrays in Python. Okay, Okay, so a series where 1D labeled array and a data frame. Now what does this data frame means? A 2D table, like a spreadsheet, like a SQL table. Understood? I hope you're copying this. Pandas, where what we do in pandas, we do these three things. And in pandas, we use tabular data, where a tabular data could be a series format or a data frame. See, these two words might sound difficult when you first start learning, but these are the basic terminologies we use in Python programming. So when you get an expert now in these all things, so you don't use tabular data or you don't use tables. Rather than using tables, what you say, it's a series or it's a data frame. Okay, now make sure you understand these two terminologies. Why? Because the short forms we use, the data frame, the short form for data frame is df, and we will be using df in the codes afterwards. Okay, and series, it's basically, it's used for when the data is so small, so tiny data, that we use series only, but usually what we use is data frame. Okay, so a data frame is 2D table and a series in a 1D labeled array. Okay, now this is a very simple breakdown I've done for you, I've made for you. So when you start doing pandas, when you start using pandas library, how would your computer or how would your Google Colab sheet know that okay, you're starting with pandas? So what you do is, first you tell the computer or you tell Google Colab that I am going to use pandas. Now this is a basic English language. Now how do we say that to a computer? So we use this keyword, which is import. So what we do is we write import pandas as pd. Now this as pd, why are we using this as pd? Don't use your big brains, it's just a syntax, it is a fixed format. You don't have to ask why for that, you just remember that this is a syntax. But what you have to remember is that what you are importing pandas. So whenever I want any library or any other thing I want to use in Python language, so we use this keyword, which is import. Okay, if I want to import some other library, then I will be changing these pandas with some other name of that library. Okay, so for now, the first sentence, the beginning sentence of the program, when you start using pandas, the first thing you have to write is import pandas as pd. So what does this import means? Import means brings library to your code. As I said, if I want to use this library, you have to bring it to your code. So for bringing that to your code, we use this import, and as pd is a common alias used for save typing later. Okay, that is a syntax, the fixed syntax. So I hope you understood the first thing. Now the second thing, as I said, we will be using data frame. Data frame means a format where we will be saving data in tabular forms in our tables. So how do we make a data frame? See, this is a very important thing. Whenever we use our data or whenever we input our data, we are a coder, we are the people who will be we will be taking data into, right, we will be writing the data into the computer. Okay, so how do we import our data, how do we use our data? Just a second, I'll just plug my charger because I don't have charging. Okay, so moving on, as I said, if I want to input a data, if I want to input a data, what I'll have to do is I'll write a data here. Data is a variable. Till now you already know how to start writing a variable. Okay, so data is the name of a variable where we give is equal to, and then, so what is this format, guys? I hope you know, I've already taught you different kinds of data structures. We have this thing, and what we store in this kind of data structure,
Sets, ma'am.
sets, and one more thing.
Dictionary.
Very good. So this is what dictionary is. This is a dictionary. See, it has a name, it has this semicolon, and then it has a value, right? So it has a key and it has a value. Now here the complex thing is that the value is in the form of list, right? I didn't tell you any limitations, right? When I told you that a simple dictionary, how do we write a dictionary? We simply write a key value, a key, and then give it a value, right? we write a key and then we use semicolon and then we give a value to it, and then we begin with the next element, again key, and then we use a value. Are you getting it what I'm saying? So what here it did is, here it gave it a key and then in the value it gave it a list. See, as you can see here, the name is the first key and the value of it is a list. What this means it that it has a dictionary, has a list inside it. Are you getting it? Are you understanding what does this means? So here the next element is age, where age is a key and its value is again in the form of list. Are you getting it what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am. Getting, ma'am.
Yes, you're getting. Okay, very good, very nice. So this is a little complex part where you just don't simply give name a one value rather than giving only one value. What I did is I gave it a multiple values. And how can I give it a multiple values? By simply forming a list. Okay, here also I gave age and I gave it a list, 22, 24, 21. Okay, so this is what a dictionary means. Now here, this is a very important line of code. What does this mean? DF, as I said, is a short form for a data frame. So what I'm saying is that df is equal to, here df is written as a variable, so df is equal to pd, which is pandas, which we imported in the first line of code. Here import pandas as pd. So as I said that we will be calling pandas as pd. Okay, in pandas, in libraries, in these python language, what we do is we make short forms and we call these big things, these big terminologies with the help of their short forms only. Okay, so as I said, import pandas as pd. So now we will be using pandas as pd only. So here what it is saying, pd dot data frame and the data, and here this data is this data. Okay, this data is referring to this data. Are you getting it? This data is referring to this data we have already written in our code. So what does this line of code means is that basically we are saying it that convert this data in the form of table. Here data frame means a table, right? I said 2D table. So we are requesting pandas to create a table of what? Of the data we have created here, of the data we have created here. So I want pandas to create the table where one column will be of name, the second column will be of age. Are you getting it? What I'm saying? So this was your first pandas programming code, where you gave it a data, you have given it some sort of data where you have included name and age, and you're saying it that please convert this form of data in a tabular form. Tabular form means in a format of a table. Okay, now how do I say pandas to make it a table? So we basically use this keyword, which is data frame, which is to make it into a table. To what? And we use bracket, and inside that bracket we give it the data we want to make the table of. Okay, so here this is the data, I give it this data. Okay, and df is used as a variable. Okay, you can give any other word, any other thing also. Here we are just using for df for simplicity. Okay, explanation. Now see what this explanation is giving. A dictionary is created with keys as column names, as it says that this name and age will be columns. When this data will be converted into data frame na, or a table na, so this name and age will be converted into columns. Okay, and what does this line gives? What does this line says? Converts it into a table. Okay, understood. Now let's begin with our first pandas coding. I want you all to open your collab notebooks, make a new collab file, new collab notebook, and let's just begin. Okay, now the first sentence I will be using is import pandas spd. Okay, so this is the first line of code where what it says, when I click it, it will just give me a tick, a green sign that okay, I have imported this computer, this collab screen will say okay, I have imported pandas. Now you can use pandas as your library. See, it has given me a green tick, which means what? Now I can use this library in my code. Okay, now second line of code where let's come here again. Now it's saying that simply make it a list. Okay, now here we can change our names. I'll give this. Okay, Okay, now let's say this is our ages and these are the people we have in our class today. Okay, so we have I have make, let's not give data, let's give okay, I've changed the name. Okay, you can see I've changed the name of the dictionary. Okay, I said example and I've given it some data, some sort of data. Now I've given it a second line where it says, now see, you can see yellow line here. Why it is giving me a yellow line? Anyone can say why is it giving me a yellow line?
It's not defined, ma'am.
Very good. It's not defined because I've changed the name here. I've defined example. So the computer is saying you have already changed the name. So please change it here as well. So now as soon as I write example, you can see here it is showing up this example. So it's showing that, okay, it's already defined here. So you want to use that thing. Okay. Now as soon as I click this, it will give me a correct, it will give me, okay, as you said, you are giving me this. Now, why isn't it giving me any output? Why isn't making me a table? I already gave it that please make me a table. Make me a table of this thing. Now, why is it not giving me? Because I haven't used this thing. Print. Now it will give me an output that, okay, it wants me to print. Now see here, it's such a simple and nice structured way. Here, as I gave you this data, it's very complex. When you give this kind of data to a person who doesn't know Python, who doesn't know about dictionaries, who doesn't know about lists, he will get confused. He or she will get confused that, okay, what is this? I cannot understand what are you writing, why you are using these kinds of brackets, and why you're using columns, and why you're using all of this. Okay, but when I give a person this kind of data, it will simply understand, he or she will simply understand. Why? Because this is a simpler structured format, this is a tabular format which we actually want, which actual companies want. Okay, understood the difference why we are changing this data into a tabular form? Because this tabular form is easy to write, easy to read, easy to understand. Okay, so we use pandas. Okay, so the first and most important thing we used here is data frame to make this data in a format of a table. Okay, now you can add different things into it. Let's say I will add marks. Okay, I'll add marks. Let's say I got 90%, she got 98%, and this one got 45 only. Okay, and as soon as I run this, it will add me one more thing, which is marks. Okay, so do remember that the keys we use in this dictionary, these are the keys, right? You know what a dictionary's format is, a key and its value. So these keys are the columns here. Okay, these keys are the columns 1, 2, and 3. These are the columns, and these attributes are the data we fill into these columns. Okay, and these are the rows 1, 2, and 3. Since there are only 3 people, we have used 3 rows. I hope you understood. I hope you understood how to convert a dictionary into a tabular format. How do we convert it? We basically use this keyword, which is the most important keyword. And this keyword only comes when we import pandas as PD. Okay, when we use pandas. So this was the first thing. Now, my screen. Okay. So see here, the first thing you understood what is data analysis. As I said, it is a process of collecting, cleaning, transforming, and interpreting data, discovering useful insights, trends, and support decision making. Okay, now moving on to what are data set. As I said, here Kaggle gives us different kinds of data set. Now you must ask, what is a data set? A data set is basically a collection of data in real environment. So this platform here, Kaggle, what they did is they took different amounts of data and they have stored this in this website, so that when people starts learning about data analysis and they starts learning about pandas and different libraries of Python, so they want some data sets to practice on. So basically we use these platforms to practice on, okay, different functions. Understood? So coming to Okay. See, listen. Why do we use Python in these kinds of things? Because it gives us different libraries. See, one of them is Pandas, which we are actually currently studying, and another one is NumPy. Then we have Matplotlib. Then we have Seaborn. So these are the different kinds of library. We will go through each of them one by one. Okay. Now see, a pandas library is used for working with structured data, which is rows and columns. So as I said, when we are talking about a data frame, a Python data frame, so do remember that it goes with rows and columns, which is in a tabular format. Okay, understood? Now coming to the CSV files. Now as I talk about these CSV files, what is CSV files? Do you know what is a CSV file? What this CSV file means? So what happens is when we are using a computer or anything for data analysis, what we need is, as I said, a source. Here I gave you when we are studying this thing. As I said, when we want to collect data, we collect it from a source. See, this is the source I made, this is the drawing I made, this is the source where we get the data from. So this source, this data we can get in the form of files, in the form of files format. Okay. So CSV is a type of file we will be using in Google Colab. Okay, so what we do is, this line is very important again. After now you understood the first function of what we can do with the pandas, we can simply convert this into a tabular form. Okay, now next thing we can also do is, when we collect a file or when we collect a data, we can store it in a format of file. Okay, and then we can upload that file into a Google Colab and then apply different functions to it. Okay, as I said, we can either do data analysis, we can do data manipulation, we can clean that data. So for doing that, we need a data set, we need a file which has the data inside it. So see, you can explore these features as well. These are the different features we have in Google Colab, and here as we go as you go in these, you will have a written this thing, files on it. And when you click it on, you'll have these four things. And when you click on this thing, which is uploading your file, so you can have different kinds of files you can upload, whatever file you have. Okay, so as soon as I click on this, it will upload me a file. See, you have a test file, you can upload whatever files you want, a train file. So see, you can see here you have uploaded different kinds of files. Okay, and now you might see that it has all these three files have extension of .csv. So what we do is, we use files in a format of CSV. Okay, so for importing a file, as I simply gave you the how to import a file, how to add a file to a Google Colab. So you go on this file, you click on this uploading, and then you can upload whatever files you have. Okay, whatever files you want to upload, you can simply upload it. Okay, and you can see here, okay, these are the files I will be using in my code. Okay, for now you understood how to upload a file. And what if you want to make the computer read from that file? Now you have uploaded, my Google Colab have uploaded all these files. Now how do my computer will know that what these file have into that, okay, what kind of data it has? So I have to make it understand, I have to tell it that please read the data out of this file. So I'll simply copy this and I'll just paste it. Okay, now here inside this bracket, I'll give it a name of whatever file I have. Let's say I have this file. So I'll just copy the name of this file. I'll give the name, and what it will do is, it will read the file. See, it is giving me a green tick. This means what? That my Google Colab have already studied this file. The file I uploaded here, it has studied the file, that what kind of data it has. Now how will I know that, okay, if I've already given it, it has already studied it, now how will I know that whether it has understood my file or the data inside that file or not? So basically I can give it different kinds of things, different things, see, different operations I can perform on this file. As soon as I upload a file, now I have different basic operations I can perform on that file. The first function, these are very important functions, just remember, we will be using all these functions. To show first 5 rows, we will be using df.head. This is a compulsion fixed syntax. We will be using df first dot head. Okay, this is a syntax, just to remember. Just you have to write df and a dot, and then you can change whatever operation you want. First we'll be using head. So what does this head function do is, it will show me the first 5 rows of my data. First 5 rows of my data. Then this tail will show me the last 5 rows of data. What will the shape will show me? Returns 5 rows, returns columns and rows. It will return me columns and rows, how many columns and rows that data file will have. This columns will return me all the column names. This info will return me, gives the column name, data types and null values. And this describe function will give me summary stats, which means mean, standard deviation and etc, whatever functions we have. For now, just remember, these are the most two important things, and these also. Okay, so let's explore one by one. So now, before that, you might ask me that where did you find this file? So just go on your Kaggle platforms, and find whatever kind of data you want. Let's say we will be using Titanic data. So you'll get this Titanic data. This is the most first basic data set we all study on, we all basically try on. So when you go on this Kaggle website and write data set, whatever data set you have, you can just simply type. So click on this, the first thing that pops up, and then you will have data card or data set, and you will have this thing. See, you'll have this download button here. As soon as you go and search whatever data set, I just gave you an example, Titanic. You just go on that, click on that, and download this. And as soon as you click on this download, it will get downloaded here. Okay, you can see it on your laptop screens. And as soon as you download it, you can be able to upload it here from here. Okay, I already downloaded these three things, I uploaded it. Now I also gave it a command to read it. The next command I will be giving it is that whatever data you read, whatever thing you understood, just give me this thing. Let's say I gave it the first method. See, here it gave me the first five rows. As I said, the head operation will give me the first 5 rows, and hence it has given me the first 5 rows, whatever amount of rows and column my data set will have. But if I use this head function, it will only give me the top 5 rows of my data set. Understood? Okay guys, where are you, at what level you are? Have you explored Kaggle? Have you gone through that Kaggle website? Have you downloaded the data set?
Yes,
Or are
ma'am.
you, okay, very good. Or if you are slow, or if you haven't used Kaggle till now, just see my things, and then as soon as this class gets over, you go on Kaggle website, download your data set, and then perform all these functions we have. Okay, and if I don't provide any notes, just go on your chat gpt, write a prompt that please make me understand pandas for data analysis. Give me all the detailed keywords, terminologies I should know, and all the operations I should learn to perform on data sets. Okay, you can simply give it a prompt, and it will give you a number of operations you can play with your data. Okay, just download your data set, whatever data set you like, and play with it. Understood? So this was the first operation I performed. There are multiple operations, as I said. You can shape, you can use columns, you can use info, you can use describe. Understood? I won't be using all of this. You can simply go on your chat GPTs, write a prompt, you will get multiple operations, and then you can use it on your data sets. Okay, coming to the next thing, which is selecting data. Now, how do we select a data? For example, let's say my data includes name and age. Right, our data set include name and age. Here we have written name and age. What if I want to select that column? So simply I can write df, and then I'll write name. We'll be using c. Just remember, we are using a rectangular bracket. Why are we using rectangular bracket? Because if I want to select a column, I'll simply select name df, and then I'll write name, and it will give me the single column, which is also called series in pandas, right? 1D array, we call it series. Okay, but what if I want to export two columns. Then I'll simply write df age and we'll be using two brackets. Okay, just understand the syntax. See, let's say I'll just delete this one and we'll be working on this part only. See, this is our data set which we gave only. And what if I want to, I want to, I want the computer to give me the first this thing. Oh, let's see what's the error. Okay, the name we have given. Oof, okay, we cannot use this. Acha. Now let's see. We'll see what happened is here I gave it in the form of a key, right? I gave it in a form of a key. But did I say that make it into a column? I just told him to, I just told the computer to make it a data frame, right? But have I stored this data frame in my computer? It just gave me, just converted. What the computer did is it just they gave me the conversion. But did I save this in the format of a data, in a format of a table till now? No, right. I just converted it. I just converted this form into this tabular form. But did I save it anywhere? So I cannot use this function. This function will be only used when I have a data set. Like as I imported the data set here, the data set I imported here. So I can use whenever I have a tabular format data, that time only I can use this function. Okay, remember. Understood? Understood what I said? We will be using this function only when the data is saved in a tabular format. Here I have not saved this format into a tabular format. I've just told it to convert it. Okay, this is the output it gave. This is not the input we gave. Okay, so before doing this, just make sure that you have already imported these files and then play with these files rather than playing with the format we gave to it. Okay, anyways, so this was another function where we select the data. We can select columns as well as we can also select a row. Now see, here we have another kind of thing which is iLock. So what this iLock means is that give the position. Here means the index, I means the index, and lock means the location. So whenever I give this iLock and whatever value I write in this, so it will give me the position of the zeroth index. Here it will give me the row index number of 0 which will be the first row. Okay, indexing we have done in the Python part. So you might know what indexing means till now. So iLog gives the location, is the location of the index which is placed on 0th index. Understood? So these are the two more important features which are not very important. We won't be using in the different data frames, but I'm just telling you, okay, these are also functionalities we can perform. If you want a column or if you want a row, you can simply use this syntax. You can simply use this. Okay. Now before moving on to filtering and handling missing data, we'll just come to this part. See. Okay. So see, a task I am giving you. What you do is you simply type this Titanic data set into your Kaggle. Sorry. So you just type this Titanic data set into your Kaggle account. Find, as soon as you write this Titanic, you'll get a data set, and make sure the data set looks like this: gender, submission, test data, and a training data set. You might know till now that every data set has a testing data set and a training data set. If you don't, we'll continue that in the next lecture. Don't worry about it. For now, just understand what project or simple project we'll be doing. So just download the data set which is Titanic, and then go to your Google Colab, import all the data set I have given you, import all the files. See, this is the format you use. Also, do remember that I am not teaching you the line of code one by one, like one line at a time. Why? Because as I said, this is an era where we use AI in our codes, so nobody has to learn coding syntax by heart. Okay, you can just go on your chat GPT You can just type it there that please give me a code for pandas for cleaning my data set. Okay, now it will give you this line of code. You just simply copy it, you understand it, okay, what logic it is using, and then you can simply copy and paste it. But the thing you have to understand is that while copying it, you might know first how to submit or how to import these files into your Google Colab. And then when you copy and paste these kinds of code now, just do remember that it didn't give me any code, any file name. So whatever file name you have in your, see here it gave me Titanic CSV, but does it match from my name? So here my file's name is gender submission, but the name is here the name is Titanic CSV. So when you copy and paste it, so do remember to change the names of the file you have given. Okay, it has given me the name Titanic CSV, but my file's name is gender submission, so I'll change it to gender submission before copying and pasting it. Okay, are you getting it what I'm saying? Anyways, so when you begin with the Titanic dataset analysis, so first download it from Kaggle, the dataset, import it. As I said, how to import, you just use this feature, import it, and then upload it. The first line of code which says that upload it, uploads all the files. The second line of code which says import pandas, which is the most important thing, import IO, which I'll give you the explanation afterwards. And then here what it the first line says that whatever CSV file I gave you, just read it and change your name, change the name by your file name, and then it says head. So what this head function gives, it gives the first 5 rows. Okay, then I'll come to the data exploration part, then I'll come to the indexing and selection part, then I'll come to the handling of missing values, and then I'll use the filtering of data. So these things I'll be doing, I'll be playing with the data sets. Understood? I'll take this in the next class. And do remember that before I end this class, just go on your chat GPT. If you didn't understood anything, just go on your chat GPT, write a prompt that please teach me pandas, the basics of pandas, the basic terminologies of pandas. It will give you a whole bunch of explanation. And as soon as you understood it, just go on again, chat GPT on that chat box only. Give it that please give me a small project where the data set is taken from Kaggle and give me a simple task I can perform. Okay, so just give this Titanic example only. Give the chat GPT that my ma'am taught me about the Titanic data set. Give me that codes of line where I can practice. So I'll take this example, Titanic example, in my next class. But before that, I want you guys to practice it on your own so that in next class when you will sit now, you'll understand okay what ma'am is teaching. Okay,
Okay,
understood what
ma'am.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Okay.
So just go on your chat GPTs, try to understand from there again pandas, what is pandas, why are we using pandas, and what are different kinds of other libraries also we can use or other than pandas. Okay, and do remember just practice this program, this Titanic one. Okay, time is getting over, so I cannot complete it. I've only had 1 hour. Anyways, so let's just end this class now.